all my opinion, and I'm going to go through it pretty quickly because this isn't anything serious. This is just my opinions on the starters. So let's go. We got 6 tiers: S, A, B, C, D, and of course F. And let's see how well we do. So let's start off with Grookey. Now, I've only played Sword and Shield once. Never got to use Grookey. It looks cool. It's a drummer. It's grass type. It's pretty basic, but it's okay. It's not offensive or anything. I'll give it C. It's middle of the road. Sword and Shield was not a good game. Actually, I think it was just incredibly easy, kind of underwhelming. It was like, ooh, I never really got into the 3DS games. I don't think I ever finished X and Y, and I didn't even bother with Gen 7. So Gen 8 was like a return to the franchise, and it disappointed me. Playing it on the Switch. I didn't get the DLC. I played through it once. Actually, I don't think I even finished it. I think I stopped playing just before the Leon fight, because I was like, it's not worth it. I played a Nuzlocke, and I got like, I think 2 deaths, and I was like, yeah, it's a little underwhelming. if me, I suck at Pokemon, and if I can go through a Nuzlocke with 2 deaths, it's like, this game's not worth it. So yeah, Scorbunny. This was the starter I chose because I love rabbits. Rabbits are awesome. And I think it was pretty underwhelming, in all honesty. Like, it was mono fire. It learned Pyro Ball, which is pretty cool. The animation was great. I didn't get to I don't think I got to Gigantamax it. But the Gigantamax is pretty alright. I'm going to give it like an A tier. When I saw this thing, I was like, this is obviously going to be my starter. I love rabbits. And yeah, no, I like Scorbunny. I wish he was in a better gen, though. I think he would have gone a lot better. And I'm going to call it a, even though, you know, it's a species, but whatever. Sobble. Now, I didn't get to use Sobble either, but I do think Sobble's a lot cooler than Grookey. I think they were trying to go for Greninja route. It's the cool James Bond sniper reptile amphibian. I don't know what it is. I don't even know what the evolutions are called. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of blanking on it. That's how little I cared for Gen 8. But I think, you know, it's pretty good. I'd say it's pretty good. Pretty cool. Put in B tier. Tepig. Now, Tepig gets a bad rep. Tepig gets a really bad rep. I feel like people are like, oh, it's the third fire fighting type, which is true. Don't get me wrong. Very true, but that doesn't make it bad. I think it's kind of ugly. Emboar is pretty darn ugly. And because it's firefighting, it gets lost in the crowd, I feel, because Infernape and Blaziken are way cooler. But I don't think it's bad. I think it's pretty strong, it's pretty bulky. I have used it a couple times, and it's always a solid pick. I'd put it in B tier. I think it's better than Sobble for sure, but I think it's a solid B tier. I like Emboar. I like Tepig. I like Pignite. Cyndaquil, on the other hand, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it now. Cyndaquil is pretty underwhelming. It's pretty darn underwhelming. It has the same stats as Charizard, but it doesn't even have the cool design. It's like a rat on fire. And I'm not saying designs matter, because unlike a lot of people, I really don't care about designs. Like, because a Pokemon's ugly doesn't mean I dislike it. Like, I really like Garbodor. I really like Muck. I really like a lot of ugly Pokemon. I guess design doesn't really, like, yeah, it makes it appealing to look at, but it's like, it won't justify the means. I just think Typhlosion is pretty overrated. I don't think it has anything going for it. I think it learns maybe like a rock type move and a ground type move, and that's about it. It's like, it's always the most underwhelming in any team. I feel any Johto team, Cyndaquil will always be the most underwhelming. I'm sorry. I have to give you a D, buddy. I like using him. Alright, I do like using him, but it's like, you know, for a starter, it's like, it's not great. I'd rather have something else. Squirtle. Oh man, Squirtle. Now here's the thing, I don't really play the Gen 1 games. I find them or the Gen 1 or the Gen 3 remakes, I find them a little too easy, and whenever I do play them, I either choose Charizard, or Charmander, or Bulbasaur. I never really use Squirtle. I think the few times I have, he's pretty solid. Nothing too grandiose. I do like Squirtle. I think there's a lot going for him. He does get a really cool Mega Evolution. I think Blastoise is really badass, but I think for the most part, Squirtle, I'm gonna give him B tier. Better, worse than Tepig, better than Sobble. I feel that's where Squirtle goes. Froakie. Okay, call me generic. Call me basic. I like Froakie a lot. I like Greninja. Smash Bros is really cool. I love Protein. I love Ash Greninja. I love killing it with Clefable. There have been so many times, I feel, where my Clefable, in Pokemon Showdown, I will have a Clefable and there's a Greninja, and I will kill the Greninja with the Moonblast. And it's just so satisfying every single time it happens. I don't know why. There's a clip that I might share, if I still have it, where a Scarf Greninja Hydro Pumps my Clefable, and I use Protect to stall him out one turn, and then the very next turn I risk not protecting. I risk going for the Moonblast. He goes for Hydro Pump. It misses, and then I kill it. And that was just one of the most satisfying Pokemon Showdown moments in my life. Like, it's so memorable to me. And that's not even, just to say, oh, I love killing Greninjas. That's why I like Froakie. It's more so that it's just a really cool design. I really love the Ninja Frog. I love it in Smash Bros. And yeah, I just really like it. I think they nailed it. I'm gonna give it an S tier. Kind of basic, but hey, what can you do? What can you do? Piplup. I love Piplup. I love Piplup. It's the very first Pokemon I ever had, the very first level 100 I ever had. I'm a Gen 4 stan, so you can tell I was born in around 2000. Yeah, I'm a Piplup fan. I remember back in the day when I was younger. What surprises me nowadays is seeing the love Gen 4 gets, because when I was growing up, a lot of the kids were really into Gen 3. Whether it was the anime or the trading card game or the manga or the games, it was sort of like, oh, Pokemon stopped being good after Hoenn, stopped being good. And I was like the one kid that gave Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum a chance. All the kids were like making fun of me and whatnot. And so I guess I had that impression that the Sinnoh games aren't as loved as the games before it. And nowadays I realize, no, I think people love the Sinnoh games. I think the Sinnoh games are held at one of the highest regards, Gen 4 and Gen 5. I think I got into Pokemon at the perfect time, right, when Gen 4 and Gen 5 were releasing. Though that may have to do with the fact that these were the DS games. They're more accessible than a Game Boy Advance or Game Boy or 3DS even, or Switch. So maybe that's why. But for the most part, Piplup it's great. Empoleon is amazing. Steel typing gives it so many resistances, and a lot of people say that it's like, oh, why would you like Empoleon? Both Torterra and Infernape beat it. It's supposed to beat the Fire starter, but Infernape is a fighting type. It beats it. And to that I say, why are you comparing these two starters together? That's one Pokemon. Yeah, one Pokemon. That one Pokemon beats it. All right. Is that enough to criticize Empoleon? No. It's like it gets beaten up by an Infernape. So what? Right? It beats a whole lot of other Pokemon, probably, right? And like, how many Infernapes are you gonna fight? Like, yeah, one in the Elite Four and one from. Yeah, that's about it. There's probably one in the Elite Four if you're choosing Piplup. You're never gonna face an Infernape in the games, so deal with it. And also, really good at getting fairies. Steel typing, very powerful. Piplup's S tier, top of S tier. I don't see anything beating Piplup. Like, there's just no way anything's beating Piplup. Mudkip. I heard you like Mudkip. We're not bringing that meme back. That meme sucked. Yeah. I use Mudkip. Super defensive. Great typing. I'm pretty sure there's, like, really no grass-type trainers in the Hoenn games. So, for the most part, if you're, like, Nuzlocking this, you're guaranteed to just never die, unless you super misplay, because it's so defensive and there's just no real grass-type threats. I think Mudkip or Swampert, it's just incredibly cool. I think all the Hoenn starters are incredibly cool. I think Hoenn and Sinnoh knocked it out of the park. All those starters are just so memorable and equally neck and neck, I feel. Not typing-wise, because as I said, Infernape can beat up an Empoleon, but just in terms of pros and cons, I feel like it's so balanced. I love Mudkip. I'm going to give him high A tier, though, for the purpose of... No, you know what? No, I'm gonna put him, like, just under Froakie. I think I like him a little less than Froakie, because Froakie has the little advantage of protein and all the cool things he can do. I think Swampert's pretty great, though. I love water ground types, Quagsire, Gastrodon. They're all Wishcash. They're all great, and Swampert is probably the best of those guys. So, yeah. Totodile. Totodils. What I like about Totodile is you get Ice Fang pretty early. I remember when I was younger, I was doing the double battle against Claire and Lance, and all my Pokemon got KO'd, and my rival, because I picked Cyndaquil, he had a Totodile, and he had like Ice Fang or whatever, and Ice Fang, because they're Dragon-type users, it destroyed them. All my Pokemon were KO'd at that point, but my rival carried the battle for me, and I remember the whole time I was like, oh my goodness, this Feraligatr just destroyed them. It brought me to victory, and so because of that, I had a much higher regard for Alligator. I love the Crocodile guy. He's great. Oh man, I'm gonna rank him just a little below Scorbunny. Oh my goodness, my water type bias is pretty great, but then again, the early Mons in this list are all water types, so, or mostly water types, so maybe that's why. So yeah, not Crocodile, Totodile, just a little below that. Snivy. Snivy is so smug. Look how smug and cocky he looks. I love him. He's great with Contrary. When I saw him, I was like, that's the starter I'm picking. That's a really cool grass-type starter. His learn set is pretty trash, but I do think that Contrary Superior is one of the greatest starters you can ever have with Leaf Storm. I really don't think there's much losing in that regard. I think he's pretty solid. I think he's great. I'm going to say it now, I think he's the coolest grass-type starter. Actually, no, I think that's too much. Maybe the coolest Unova starter. Grass-type starter, maybe not. I don't think that's true. Snivy is definitely... I'm going to put him above Scorbunny. A tier, low A tier, or high A tier. Great Pokemon. I love Snivy. My favorite Unova starter. Oshawott, on the other hand. Oshawott is so cool. Oshawott is a samurai otter, and the design isn't, like, amazing, but I love him anyway. He's kind of, like, I feel like the Unova starters are a little underwhelming. You got mono grass, mono water, and then another firefighting. It's kind of like meh compared to, especially compared to Sinnoh. But Samurott. No, wait. What's the evolved form? I don't know what the evolved form is. It's Samurott, right? Yeah, it is Samurott. He's like this ninja samurai otter, and it's just so cool to see that lore, that Japanese history. I think he's amazing. I'm gonna put him above Scorbunny, just a little below Snivy. I love Samurott. I love using him. I think Snivy's what I went for in Black, and for the sequels I chose Oshawott, and I don't regret it. And I love these two. That's not to say Tepig's bad. It's just my first playthrough of both these games. I chose these guys, and maybe that's why they're higher, because I have such nostalgia for them. But I love them. Anyway, Rowlet. So as I said, I did not get to play the Gen 7 games. But Rowlet, from the things I've seen, it's a cool design. It kind of looks like the 11th Doctor from Doctor Who. I don't even know what the evolved form is. Decidueye? Is that what it's called? I wish it was in Smash Bros. I feel like it would have been the perfect Smash Bros. Rep. Has cool bow and arrow, ghost and grass type. It's pretty cool for a starter. A ghost type starter? That's amazing. I love the guy. I love Rowlet. So cute, so epic. I've never used him, but from what I can see, I would probably love him if I ever got to use him. Oh man, I don't know if I can put him in S tier though. That's the thing. I don't know if I can. I will. Screw it. It's my list. Low S tier. I never got to use him, but I love him anyway. So yeah. Trico. I've never actually used Trico. I played the Hoenn game so many times, but I've never used Trico, I don't think. I've used Torchic and Mudkip, but never Trico. And the reason is because so I got interrupted incredibly rudely again, but as I was saying, Trico, I think the thing with Trico is that unlike the other starters, I don't really see the need to use him. You know, Torchic and Mudkip evolve into firefighting and water ground. Those are pretty cool. Trico's a mono grass. That's kind of underwhelming. And, you know, to my credit, because I've never used him, I've never gotten to see his full potential. I will say I really do like his Mega Grass Dragon and that pine tree as a tail. Beautiful design. I think Trico, considering the fact I've never used him, I really do value him. I think he's pretty darn cool. I don't know how to rate this guy, though. It's hard. It's hard to rate this guy. I really don't know what to say other than he's pretty cool. I'll give him. I'll put him. I'll put him here. I think that's fair. No, you know what? No, I'm putting him just under Snivy. I think he's cooler than Oshawott. I think from what I've seen, the videos I've seen of him, he's a pretty great friend to have around. So, yeah, Trico gets there. Now, Popolio. I have a story to tell you. So, I think the day the X and Y trailer was revealed with the starters, one of my friends actually changed his username to Popolio. I think he was the very first person to change his Minecraft username to Popolio, and because of that, Popolio sort of became a little meme with our group, my friend group at the time, and I thought that was so cool. I thought that was the coolest, and Popolio was like a little clown seal. He gets a really, or I guess she gets a really great design with Prismarina Water Fairy. I love Prismarina. I think it's great. A lot of people are like, it's kind of ugly, it's too feminine. I disagree. No, I think it's great. Again, never played Gen 7, so it's a little harder for me to judge, but I'm going to put him above Scorbunny. I'm going to put it there. I've never used it. I don't know what moves it has. I don't know what stats, so this is just sort of, this tier list is already incredibly subjective. I'm not basing this off stats or anything like that. It's just my opinion. I think Popolio is great. Come at me, haters, and yeah, water type bias is so strong. So strong. Litten becomes Incineroar. When I saw that reveal in Smash Bros, my jaw dropped because I was not expecting that. I thought the Grinch League was real. Seeing Incineroar made me, contemplate life. And then, when I saw the evolution back when it was revealed, it was like, this better not be a fire fighting. I remember, and I was kind of scared it was, and then I realized it was Fire Dark, and that's pretty cool. It's like a Houndoom. I think Incineroar, it's like a wrestler. It's kind of creepy because it's bipedal and it's pretty humanoid, but I think Incineroar is not bad. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't think it's great either. I don't ever see myself using it. I feel like because Water and Fairy and Ghost, and I know there's a Trevenant or whatever is also Ghost Grass, but like I feel like because we've seen it such a long time ago with Houndoom, that Incineroar kind of loses its novelty. I don't really like him that much compared to the other two. I really like, Water Fairy and Ghost Grass more than I like Fire Dark. So, sorry, buddy. I'm gonna put you above Squirtle. I think you're cooler than Squirtle, but not as cool as Tepig. I'm gonna put you there. Sorry, Litten. You're cool though. Charmander. Now, I know what I said earlier, that I picked Charmander whenever I play the Kanto games, but in my opinion, Charizard is so overrated. It's a dragon, which is cool. Dragons are awesome, but that's it. That's all it has going for it. Fire flying. It's not a dragon, which is like a very overused meme. It's very loved, because Ash had a great Charizard. The trading card has Charizard as one of the rarest and coolest cards. It gets 2 Mega Evolutions, but at the end of the day, it's like it's Charizard. It's like what does Charizard have that like separates it from the crowd? Not much. Not much. And Stealth Rocks just destroy it. I think Charizard is just incredibly oversaturated and overloved. Enough to a point where it's just sort of, I don't want to be basic and use Charizard. I don't like it that much. It's cool, dragon, fighter, warrior type, but it's like it doesn't have a whole lot of personality. It's just a cool dragon. What you got? I don't know. I'm sorry, Charizard. I think you would be cool, and I know that's ridiculous. The fandom ruined it or anything like that. But I think you just get so much oversaturation that it's sort of like a U-turn effect where it's just not cool anymore because it gets so overhyped. I'm gonna put it in high C tier. I don't hate it. I mean, I've used it way more than I've used a lot of other starters, but it's like just like Cyndaquil. It's like it's always the most underwhelming Pokemon because it's like, yeah, you have a Charizard, so what? Now, Torchic, on the other hand, that's another overrated one, but at least it has reason. Firefighting, pretty cool typing. Blaziken, pretty great, but also speed boost. That is such an overpowered ability. I know that when I first started playing Showdown way back in 2000, I want to say like 9 or 10, it was insanely powerful, so buffed. I think it was banned, actually. It was blacklisted, borderline blacklisted or whatever, because of the just how overpowered it was. I think Blaziken is also pretty basic. I feel like most of the fire type starters are like, if you have it, you're kind of generic. Because I get it. Water, you can get water anywhere, and grass is like lame. It's the gardener's Pokemon, but fire, everyone loves fire. But I actually do like. I think it has more justification for its popularity than Charizard has, and I'm surprised that it's not anywhere near as popular as Charizard. Honestly, I thought it would be Charizard levels of popular. Also, KFC joke. Everyone's gonna make a fried chicken or a KFC joke once they see this little guy. But I love Torchic, love Blaziken. Combusken's kind of ugly though, so what can you do? But I'm not judging it off design, as I said. So, I like Torchic. I like it a lot more than Scorbunny, more than Polio, more than Oshawott, more than Trico. Not more than Snivy though. I'll put it here. I really like Torchic. All right, Chikorita. This is where I will get hated on. Chikorita, just under Piplup, my second favorite. Now, I know what you're saying. Hey, in the Johto games, there's no gyms that are good. Like, it sucks. All the gyms are either neutral or they just outright beat it or resist it. The evil team uses mostly fire or poison or flying Pokemon. Beats non-Elite Four. It's kind of useless. It gets outclassed by other grass types. And to that I say, you haven't seen the Team 4-star Heart Gold Nuzlocke, Soul Silver Nuzlocke rather. Team 4-star Soul Silver Nuzlocke. You haven't seen it. Watch it. You will understand why I hold Chikorita at such a high regard nowadays. I love Mr. Steak. I think it's brilliant, and you know what? If you don't like Chikorita, fair enough. I get it. I understand. But you need to watch that Nuzlocke first. It just, I don't know. It gives you respect for Meganium. So much so that I put it just under Piplup, which was always going to be my favorite just because it was my first. But, yeah. It's also a lot bulkier than you give it credit for. And I think it learns Reflect and Light Screen too, which only adds to its bulkiness. So yeah. Meganium. Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is the most underloved of the Gen 1 starters. I disagree. I think Squirtle should be the most underloved. Squirtle's so basic. Bulbasaur, though, pretty darn cool. Grass Poison, pretty darn bulky. Synthesis, Leech Seed, Sleep Powder, Giga Drain, Earthquake, Knockout. Like, I'm just listing a bunch of moves, of course. But you can play around with him so much. He gets Thick Fat, kills off 2 of his weaknesses, with its Mega Evolution, of course. And I just think it's the most helpful of all the starters, I feel like it's honestly the best starter of Kanto. I love Bulbasaur. He gets such a little. I feel like there's such a big group of Bulba haters that just shit on the poor guy, but I love him. I love Bulbasaur. I don't know what there's to say about it. Oh man, I'm gonna give him S tier, above Froakie even, just under Chikorita, but no, even above Chikorita, I love using Bulbasaur. That's why I've never used Squirtle, because every time I will either use Charmander to be basic or Bulbasaur because I love the guy. There you go. There you go, Bulbasaur. Also, I should point out, when I say I play these games a lot, I like Nuzlocke a lot. For the most part, I always choose Bulbasaur because I feel like he's the most helpful, but often I'll use Charmander as well. But yeah, no, I love Bulbasaur. Second best. Just under Piplup. Turtwig. I think Turtwig is kind of underwhelming at first. But once you get Torterra, and it has a whole island coming out of its back, it has a tree, it gains the ground type, it just becomes so much more viable and so great. It's so bulky, it's so strong. 4 times weakness against ice sucks, but deal with it. What you gonna do about it? You gonna complain? No. You're gonna use Torterra. Torterra is very slow, and yeah, it's a turtle, it makes sense, but I love the guy. I seriously love the guy. He's awesome. Call it Gen 4 bias, but Turtwig is one of the most underrated of the starters. And yeah, I'm giving grass types a good rep now. Is that my bias? I love water types, I love grass types, and I think fire types are overrated, so they get lower rankings. Is that what it is? Maybe it's bias. Maybe I'm racist. A typist. Maybe I'm a typist. I don't know. Where would I put this guy? I'm gonna put him I think he's better than Scorbunny. I don't think he's better than Papolia, though. I'm going to put him here. I love this guy. So underrated. More people should love him. He's great. Now, this next guy. Chespin. Sorry, I blanked out for a second. Chespin. I think Chespin is a Pokemon that I've also never used. I think I only played Gen 6 once, and I chose Froakie. I don't think I ever got to choose Chespin or Litten. That's not right. Chespin or Fennekin. That's what I meant. But I do think that Chespin, Grass and Fighting, pretty cool typing. It's like Breloom. But I don't really know anything about it. I really don't know anything about Chestnut. So I'm sorry. I don't know where to put this guy at all. The design is pretty darn cool, though. I will say that. The middle one is kind of creepy looking, but I do like it. And I don't have a whole lot to base this on. So I'm just gonna put it in. I'm just gonna put it in like comfort tier. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it like here. I think it's all right. I think that's like a middle ground for it. I think that's fair. Now, on the other hand, Fennekin. I hope I'm getting that right. I hope this is actually called Fennekin. It evolves into Braixen, right? I don't know. Fire Psychic is. It is Fire Psychic, right? Yeah, Fire Psychic. It's pretty cool. I do enjoy it. I think if you choose this guy, you're in for a wild ride. I feel as though this Pokemon is like no other, just in a sense that it's kind of furry bait. Like, a lot of furries do enjoy this guy, and I can kind of see why. It's very cute looking. It's a cool wizard fox thing, which is also pretty great. I've never used this guy, but I know a lot of friends who love this guy, and they say he's pretty great to use. I have actually used him in a few competitive, what are they called? Pokemon, like fantasy drafts, I guess. I have used him, and he has saved my tail a bunch with Trick. Giving a Pokemon the Choice Scarf. And now they can only pick one move. That has saved my life so many times with this guy. And I just have good memories of him. I've never used him in the games, but in Pokemon Showdown I've used him a decent amount. Mainly because I need, not because I want to, but because I have to, because of the draft league, but he's always there to save me. I'm gonna give him low A tier. No, low A tier. I've never used the guy, but I have nice things to say about him. He's great. Chimchar. Now, what is there to say about Chimchar? I used to hate this guy. I know one of my sisters loved him, but I used to not like him. I was like, this guy, he's Piplup. He's like the Piplup's bully, even though he's a fire type. But then I realized Infernape is incredibly fast. He's incredibly strong. Firefighting is amazing. Close combat. Like, my goodness, this guy, he will carry a lot of your Platinum Nuzlocke. He's an amazing friend to have. I love Chimchar. He's not as great as Piplup, but I'm gonna put this guy up in S tier, and like I don't think this. I think he's better than Greninja. I'm gonna put Infernape, Chimchar right here. I love the guy. He's amazing, and yeah, I can definitely see why people love him. He's so powerful, and I think he deserves more attention. I feel like Infernape. Weirdly enough, I feel like all three of the Sinnoh starters are overshadowed by the other two. I don't know why, but I feel like because the attention is split, because they're all so good, the attention of them is split. I feel like all three of them deserve more attention. I love those guys. So anyway, as you can see by this list, it's pretty great, pretty solid. The gen that I apparently like the least is, from the looks of it, I think it's the gen. Is it Gen 8? I think it's Gen 8. I didn't like Sword and Shield. I'm sorry. It was a little disappointing. Even though I've never played Gen 7, interestingly enough, the Gen 7 starters are I'd say they're rated pretty fair. Pretty decent for what it's worth. Whereas the Gen 8, because I've just never played them, just because Gen 8 was such an underwhelming game, it's sort of like, what can you do? What can you do? My opinion will stay that way, unfortunately. So yeah, I think Gen 8 is just, all three of them are ranked like a lot lower than the entire trio is ranked lower than any other trio on this list. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What else is there to say? I feel like the Gen 8 starters, there's really no like epic saving grace. And you know what? That's just how it is. Maybe Gen 9 will impress me, or maybe I'm an old man that's like, back in my day, Pokemon was so much cooler. I don't know. So that's my list. I don't hate any Pokemon. I think Cyndaquil is probably the most like meh. It's like, what are you gonna do with Cyndaquil? It's so boring. And Charmander and Grookey are just like, whatever. But I do like all these Pokemon. But I just think if I was given a Charmander, Cyndaquil, or Grookey, I'd be like, this is gonna be lame. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, that'll be all. Thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed.